Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. I'm back here at Gettle Lincoln in Punta Gorda, Florida, checking out this 2022 Lincoln Nautilus. Now this is a Reserve II package, so this is kind of the middle of the road, and today I'm going to take you on a complete tour of these vehicles. Before we do that, guys, do me a quick favor. If you look at your screen, somewhere at the bottom right hand corner there's going to be a subscribe button. Why don't you go ahead and click that before we get back to this video. Well, if you're looking for a mid-size luxury SUV, this one is not to be missed. I've spent a little bit of time with it, and I got to tell you, I'm super impressed with it. Now, it competes in the segment like the XT5 from Cadillac, so it is a two-row luxury SUV. Definitely check it out. If you haven't looked at Lincoln for a while, definitely take another look. I just did, and I'm super impressed with it. Let's start with the design of it. First of all, love the paint on it. Now, this is that pristine white color. This is a premium color, by the way. It does have a lot of sparkle in here. Looks absolutely fabulous on this vehicle. As far as the hood design, it does have this raise right in the middle, this line that goes straight throughout the entire hood from the front to the back. Looks pretty good. It lowers down on the sides. If you look at the headline unit, pretty nice. It does have all the right stuff. It does have the LED daytime running lights, LED headlights, of course the high beams, the whole 9 yards. It does have the turn signals that are right underneath here, and this particular one also has the fog lights that are nicely incorporated in the bottom portion of this bumper. If you look at the grille, this does have a lot of sheen in it, right? It does have a lot of bright chrome. That's all around here. Now this portion right here, that's got a little bit more of a satin finish in here, and then this huge Lincoln logo right over here. Now if you look at the bottom here, there's a lot of this piano black, some sensors over here. This is where a lot of the technology for the safety features hide, and then you have this chrome trim as well as this black finish at the bottom of it. Now it is available in two different engine options. Let's check it out what we have here. Take a peek underneath the hood. Before we do that, let's check out, it does have the hood struts on both sides, kind of a different placement, but they are here. It does have nice sound insulation right underneath here, and let's take a peek underneath here. So this is the base engine, 2.0 liter turbocharged intercooled engine producing 250 horsepower, 260 pound-feet of torque, made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. That's a base one. If that wasn't good enough for you, you can opt in for a V6 that produces 335 horsepower. What it also does, it shaves the 0 to 60, which is on this one about 6.9 seconds to about 5.8 seconds. So if you like something faster, you might consider a 6-cylinder. And overall, I like the design of this vehicle. In the last year, they refreshed it and they make it look younger, and it also appeals to a wider audience. Like Lincoln used to market their vehicles mostly to an older crowd. Right now, it appeals to a wider audience. I think they did a really nice job on it. I like the color, as I mentioned before. One thing I would change if it was me designing this vehicle, it is a luxury car. I would get rid of this cladding around the wheels and paint it the same color as the rest of the vehicle. Same thing with the bottom trim. Yeah, if they wanted to leave this chrome piece right here, that's fine. That adds for the luxury of it. But other than that, I would definitely change that. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Would you keep it? Would you change that? Now, as far as the wheels, it comes standard with 18s. Now, this is an upgraded wheel. Looks absolutely awesome. This is the two-tone aluminum wheel. It does have the kind of the gun polished on the inside and the polished aluminum on the outside, and it is a 21-inch wheel. Size of the tires, 265 by 40. That's the size of it. It does have the Nautilus badge right here, like you can see on the side of basically every Lincoln right now. You have the Corsair, Nautilus, you have the Aviator and the Navigator. Same color as the rest of the vehicle. On the mirror caps, it does have the camera right underneath here, blind spot assist, also has the light to illuminate, like the puddle light to illuminate the area right here. Of course, smart entry system. You can lock this vehicle basically by touching the door handle as long as the key is somewhere on you, or you can unlock it but sticking your hand inside of it. For some reason the mirror doesn't unfold. I like this better than on the Aviator. This is the regular mechanical lock, not like on the other one, which was the electronic one, which you can have to wait a little bit before you access it. This is nice. I like this chrome trim around the windows. It gives you that more luxurious finish, and a polished aluminum roof rails. Now you can also put the crossbars on it, make it usable. Now you can't see it from here, but the top of this vehicle is painted black, which adds to this kind of a cool look of this vehicle. So that's the side of it. Let's move on to the back. I don't know, is it me or it doesn't look like a Ford Edge? Now it still looks fairly sporty, I gotta tell you. I mean, look at those exhaust tips right on the bottom off here. Now both the 4 and 6 cylinder engine have kind of the same exhaust tip. You also can see the tow hitch. Now both engines can tow up to 3,500 pounds if equipped with the right towing package, right? So you can see this gate spoiler right here, third brake light incorporated right here, of course the wiper, Lincoln spelled out right here. I like this chrome trim. I also like this light. Now this light illuminates. Some of the vehicles just have it as a basically a reflector light, but not this one. Check this out. Hope you can see it. Yep, there you go. This whole strip illuminates. It looks really, really nice, especially if you're following one at night. Now, the whole setup is full LED lights, the backup lights, the turn signal, the whole 9 yards. And if you look at the reflector light, that's basically the whole strip right at the bottom here. Of course, it does have the sensors for the parking, etc., rear view camera, and then you can open this a couple different ways. You can double click the remote, which I just did right now, or you can also press the button at the bottom of this gate to unlock it. So let's see what the cargo capacity is here. All right, overall it does have quite a bit of cargo room. It doesn't have a third row seat obviously, but plenty of room behind the second row seat. Right underneath here you can see you don't have the spare tire, but you do have the fix-a-flat, you have the compressor to inflate your tires, etc. And right here, what do we have? If you needed to increase the cargo space, you can basically fold down the seats, and it's a one-way operation. They don't go back up. You have to manually actually adjust them. And then you have the cargo cover right here. So as far as the total cargo room, check it out. It does have quite a bit. Okay, sitting in the back, I don't feel cramped. There's actually quite a bit of room. I'm not touching my knees to the front seat, and I have it adjusted to my regular driving position. There's certainly about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches above my head, so not a huge headroom, but just enough, and definitely enough shoulder room to fit 2 people in here. Third one would be a squeeze. Well, let me show you the rest of this interior. Get to the door panel, because that's where the biggest difference that I can see is between this and the cheaper Fords, right? So Ford is using the hard plastic pretty much everywhere unless you go for the highest end trim. Now this is Lincoln. This is all like soft plastic or soft vinyl, I should say, and this is leather wrapped. So everywhere you touch, it feels good. Not only it feels good, but I think it insulates the sound a little bit better. It doesn't project this hollowy sound while inside of this vehicle, even from the speakers. Now you also have this trim piece right here, polished aluminum at the bottom. Now you have this piano black, not my favorite, but it actually fits good with this vehicle. You do have this Rev stereo. We're going to check that out. So you have one speaker at the top, one at the bottom. There's a little bit more storage right here. And let's move inside of here before we get to the seats, the back seats. Let's check out the front seat pockets right in the back here. You do have a vent for the rear seats, and as you can see, this one is equipped with the heated seats in the back, as well as you have the USB, USB-C, and the regular household outlet. And if you don't like the look of it, you can always close it like this. Not a big bump on the floor. And then let's check out the seats. Seats are nicely leather wrapped. I like the design of it. I like the smell of it. I like the feel of it. They're very nice and comfortable. Like I said, 2 people can fit in comfortably. Third one, not so much, but you can always use this as an armrest with the cup holder. Let's hear the sound of the closing door. Okay, nice and solid. Like I said, the quality of the material used. Obviously the front panel is just like the rear panel, except it does have the 3 memory seat settings, and it does have the window and mirror and lock controls. Storage right underneath here, another speaker. You have this Lincoln illuminated trim at the bottom. Both seats are power adjusted. Now there's definitely a lot more adjustments on the driver's seat than the passenger seat. It's also a lot more contoured than the back seats in here. Check it out. I actually like the way that it feels. I drove it. It's pretty cool. Now before I get inside of it, also I want to show you that they utilize this space right underneath here, so you can put more stuff in here. And see, this is rubber lined, so even if you put a purse or anything like this in it, it's not going to roll around. Left hand side of the steering wheel, you see you have a bunch of buttons. Basically this is your light control, fog light control, dimmer. You can turn off the traction control off, and you can control your gate. Electronic parking brake is right here. And as far as the steering wheel, you do have tilted telescoping steering wheel, and this is power tilted telescoping steering wheel. I guess let's check out the interior of this 2022 Nautilus right here. Like it, again, lots of premium material. It feels good. Like, this is soft touch plastic. Now look at this wood looking trim. I hope you can see it. Obviously it's not the real wood, but it looks like one. It's leather wrapped. It's got the piano black, etc. Okay, you do have a glove box. That's normal. Huge screen. This is the 13.5 inch screen. We're going to get to it in just a second. Steering wheel. All right, I'm going to turn this vehicle on because it is hot outside and I want to get some air going. Now, where do I turn it on? Now, this is one thing that I would definitely change somewhere on this Lincoln. Look at this. This is the placement of the engine start and stop button. It's kind of hidden out of the way. It also has this push button transmission. Again, not the perfect placement. I'm not sure where they can put it, but not here. That's definitely a wrong placement for it. Now it says Nautilus right here. We're going to turn the volume off. We're going to check that out. The Rev 19 speaker stereo that is installed on this vehicle. It sounds absolutely perfect. We're going to move on to the steering wheel right here. The steering wheel, nice to the touch. It's kind of this different brown that matches the trim pieces on the door. It doesn't match the seat. Obviously the seats are lighter. The Lincoln logo right here, a bunch of buttons on here, so you can see this is to control the volume, this is to control the media, this is your adaptive cruise control, the regular cruise control, the lane keep assist, and then on the other side you can have the voice activated system. This is your back button, up and down and OK, and right here you can have your phone control. Now to the instrument cluster right here. All right, what do we see? So it's fully digital instrument cluster. Lunatic Fringe. Not sure what that is. If anybody knows what this is about, let me know. It says fuel economy, so it does have the trip basically here. We're facing northwest, 80 degrees outside, and there's big 0 miles per hour. So that's your speedometer. At the bottom of it, you have the temperature. You also have your range, 179 miles to empty, and this is it. Now let's play around with it and let's see what we can customize on this screen. Okay, so trip 1, fuel economy, tire pressure, and we go back to the Lunatic Fringe. One other thing that I didn't show you is that it comes equipped with actually a pedal shifters. That's another thing to complain about. They're very super small. They're super cheap kind of feeling. This is that plastic that I think in that class of vehicle they could either make it more pronounced, but even if they don't want to do it, just use some better materials for it. All right, well, let's take a look at this screen right here. So this is the 13.5 screen. This is a nice looking screen. That's the sync system by Ford, and so you have all the shortcuts right at bottom. So you have the audio, so you can control it, phone, navigation, loading map. I like the size of this map. I like the clarity of it. I actually like a lot about this system. Ambient lighting, see what we have? Different settings, different colors. Easy peasy, it's right there. You can set it up to be any of these colors that you see on the screen. You can see different apps. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Right, let's see, Android Auto.
Search for your vehicle on your device.
There you go. It is a wireless Android Auto. Very nice. So here's your settings. Vehicle, clock, personal profiles, general sound, display, seats, connectivity, ambient lighting. Let's see the rear view camera since we're here. All right. So it does have, it divides the screen in three. Can we have the full rear view camera? No, it doesn't take the entire screen. That's beyond me. I'm really shocked why more manufacturers don't use it. Look at the size of this screen. This should take up the entire screen, and maybe this should be a 1/4 of the screen. This could be on the regular screen. This is basically our parking sensors. Okay, it does have the trajectory lines, and it does have, what is this? What's the deal with here? This is basically just tells us where the vehicle is. Okay, that's another ding for this vehicle. Okay, now it's better. But this is only in the zoom mode, so this is only in the tow mode basic. It is still, here, I gotta tell you, it is still a fairly responsive system. It might not have as many features as some of the competition, but it is there. And the navigation is awesome, the camera not so much. The wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, that's a huge plus. Let's move down here. Okay, so what do you have? You have the parking assist. Okay, it says navigate to parking, active park assist. That's your camera. Again, should be better. It's basically your driver's assistance features. Auto start stop. You turn that on and off, and auto hold, you can turn that on and off. That's for your brakes. Different placement would be better for the transmission here. And then right here you have some shortcuts for your volume. Okay, let's see what source we can get. So we have the Bluetooth audio, AM, FM, Sirius FM. These are your standard features. Play, revel, experience. Totally impressive, guys. This was awesome. So I'm glad I found it. There's another thing that I found while playing around with these settings right here, and this is a tab for the seats. So right here you have the seats, driver, and I can turn on the massage, and I can actually change the different massage options: lower rolling, upper rolling, circular cushion, full recovery, relux, recovery, and that changes it. And that's also available for passenger as well. So we can do driver or passenger. You can leave it on. So that is a cool feature as well. Let's move down here. What I like about this too, that it does have some shortcuts, and if you don't like using the touchscreen, you can get to the main sources, whichever you want. So you have the volume, you have the tune, power source, seek, etc. You can control it by voice on the steering wheel as well. This is for your climate control, and this is actually the temperature settings. You can see, you can do it up and down. It shows up on the screen. Heated seats, ventilated seats. This is, you can turn this off as far as the climate control. I'll put it in auto setting, and then here's your menu. That goes to the menu on the climate control. Now you can correct the speed, fan speed, etc. Right, here's your wireless charger for your phone, USB-C, USB plug, cup holders. Let's move on to this console. Okay, so you have your 12-volt power adapter. This is it. Let's move on to the top really quick. And standard features, basically light controls. You also have the moonroof control, and you do have your sunglasses holder. So moonroof control, it does have this panoramic sunroof. It does have this panoramic sunroof that takes up quite a bit of room, and that opens up Okay, see how much more light it gets inside of this vehicle, right? One touch operation, nice windscreen. All right, we're gonna close that up before we take it for a spin. Check it out, guys. The vehicle is running, ready to go for a spin. Let's check out what trim levels are available for this Nautilus. So the Lincoln for 2022 essentially has 3 different trim levels, and that is the standard one that starts at 43,560. The Reserve, which is the one that we're sitting in right now, starts at 49,970, and then the Black Label, which is the granddaddy of them all, 66,170. Now, this particular one has a lot of added equipment, has more than $10,000 of added equipment, and it lists out for about $65,000. So I'm putting all of the equipment in the description of this video so you can check it out of what's not standard. But I tell you what, this Revel system 19 speaker stereo, you don't get that on the base one. You don't get those 21-inch rims. And there's massage seats, you don't get those on the base ones. Well, let's find out where this drive button is in this very awkward setting. Let's take that for a spin. Now I want to check out how this vehicle turns. I'm going to move the steering wheel all the way to the left. We're going to go do a full 360. There you go. So the turning radius is really nice and tight, and the vehicle feels like a Lincoln should. It's very quiet, it's very comfortable. It does have kind of this boaty feeling where it floats on water, so the suspension is really doing its job. It's going to be a few bumps and just a little bit on this lot, speed bumps, so we're going to see how that absorbs it. Very good. Very nice. Now, my question is, does it have any drive modes, and how do I get to it? So there's a very good chance that I don't know where it's at, but if I don't see that as far as the settings that are kind of jumping at me and say, hey, these are the drive modes, then how can people see that as well? It's not visible anywhere here. I gotta tell you, the seats are doing their job. They're massaging me, and that feels really, really good. Still would like to see some settings for the drive modes, if there are any. Okay, so we're gonna check the acceleration right here. Acceleration is decent. I mean, the engine doesn't struggle, and it's so nicely insulated inside. You can barely hear it. Sometimes, you know, maybe for a sport mode would be nice to actually have this speaker enhanced sound, but I'm still looking for it. I still can't find it. There's an S right next to the drive, so I think that could be a sport mode, but that's the only mode then other than the regular drive that I can see, and it does tighten it up a bit. Nothing too crazy. I'm gonna check out this acceleration one more time. It does seem like in the sport mode that hangs onto the gear for a little bit longer, so it does have a little bit different driving dynamics, but it's not super pronounced as you can see on some of the other vehicles. So it is nice, it is comfortable, it does have a nice visibility, and definitely the comfort of the ride is superior to a lot of other vehicles. So overall, it's a very pleasant vehicle, and that's why I said, you know, at the beginning of this video, check this out if you're looking for a luxury mid-size SUV. Well, check it out for 2 reasons. A, because it's really, really nice. B, because Lincoln plans to actually discontinue it, and there's not going to be a Navigator or Nautilus for the 2023, at least from what I read. That's whole segment is going to go to the Aviator, which is actually a little bit bigger. I just did one, so I'm going to put a link in the description of this video to that one in case you wanted to check the Aviator, which is a little bit bigger. Guys, Thanks a lot. Thanks very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, why don't you go ahead and take a second and do it now. Bottom of this video, there's a little red subscribe button. Hit that. Also click that little bell notification so you don't miss any of my videos, and I post twice a week. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Cheers.